Full Game Prometheus, giving you another full game live recap. Once again, I'll be using the West Coast playbook on offense, and on defense, I'll be using Tennessee as my defensive playbook. I'm going to be switching over to the Carolina Panthers as my regs team. Got a lot of speed on offense and defense. It seems like a very low rated team for basically the type of team that it is. Right from the very get-go, this guy actually pins me down in the 1 yard line. You can see right here. I just didn't take the ball out, it was actually kind of a little bit of a sticky situation against this guy. I see an opportunity to go and pop him up top, but I actually get a bad play at like a throw animation. That guy it was a linebacker. I should have totally beat that guy because it's like a 93 plus speed type person. So I got myself in a little hole right here, right from the very beginning. So the guy hits me with a quick out route, so I know this guy knows what he's doing based on some of the adjustments that he did. And he was very committed to the run and had a very good passing scheme. And then he had a play that is a very common play, but drove me nuts. And I made a lot of poor adjustments, basically it's something you're gonna rage when you see it, because I was raging on my side because I was struggling against it, and it's a very simple play to stop. So basically right here I see same type of situation. He was playing as middle safety, playing cloud flats, and able to go ahead and attack him through the seam with my highly fast wide receivers that I put in the slot position. So I'm able to go up by a score after I got myself a cheap stop. So this is a play right here. This is just basically a bubble screen out of the far trip set that he had an inside run with, and I basically struggled the entire game with that, and I kept him in the game the entire time, basically going back to that play. So on the opposite side, he actually hit me with a deep post route. I chased down underneath to go after the bubble, and he got me out of position. So that was setting things up pretty much for the rest of the situation. He either throws a crossbody right here, gets the ball into the end zone, and gets a touchdown. Now, I have McCaffrey as my running back. He's one of the best running backs, but I just wasn't really used to running with him because this is the first time I played with this team. But what's cool about this particular team, though, is that it does also have a nice little running back with Davis. And I was just playing around, making some adjustments to my scheme to try to add a little bit more depth. But I was using the spread set as my primary set, and it was making things fairly effective for me. So right there, I hit the little whip route. Right here, I went into the I form just to try to add a little bit more beef, able to go and pick up a few yards, didn't hit the angle correctly. And right here, he's showing press. He didn't have a guy over the top. I'm able to go ahead and hit him over the top, get the ball down to the 6 yard line with a press set right there. So fortunately for me, my wide receiver actually made a good play. Did an inside zone, no huddled. I jumped into one of my favorite plays down to the red zone, which is Texas. And the reason why is this tight end spot just does not get covered. He gets leverage against most man defenders, so usually you can pop that at least once or twice in a game for a quick, easy touchdown or a 2-point conversion. So now he's in a heavy set right here. I'm putting one of my guys into a flat off to the right-hand side. He actually runs the ball right up the middle. I'm able to go and tackle him just for a few yard gainer. But it was an effective run. He actually got 4 yards with it. Goes a little crossing route actually and hits a seam with Witten. He's able to go and come down with it. I jump into an even set. He's got Wildcat, so I'm actually blitzing the corners right here against the Wildcat set. I don't think I had it set up completely, but he's able to go and get a nice little run with the Wildcat. I think he comes back to it again. I blitz both corners to get guys down in the box, and I'm able to go and stop Elliott. So he stays with the Wildcat, or actually now he goes into the bubble screen. So this is the play that was just killing me, because I wanted to play with a lot of guys in the box, and this play was just destroying me. And he was getting phenomenal blocking on the outside with the way he had that play set up. And basically he read it perfectly every time. So it was a challenge that I faced. So I went ahead and tacked him once again up top to get another one-play touchdown against them with my spread offense. So it was like between the two of us, it seemed like we had the perfect offenses against what each other were using on defense. Now, I went into the 3-3-5 defense. My defensive end, edge rusher actually came down and actually attacked the run. So right here I go with a little spy situation. He actually runs the ball with this type of situation. So it was kind of a catch-22. If I opened up the box and try to take away this route right here, basically what would happen is he'd actually go and run the ball. If I actually go ahead and close down the box, you can do that. So right here I actually manned up the guy. He actually attacks me in a corner route, and Kuechly's able to come down with the ball right there. So basically that was a huge stop right there. It was a huge play because it actually think it put me up 21-14 against this guy. So back on defense again. He's basically running a very heavy set. I think he's got a bunch of beef up there. He attacks the out route. I think I tried to do hard flats. The defender didn't come out there in time. So now I actually try to switch things up, but for some particular reason my defenders actually missed a deep route. He had a one-play touchdown on that particular play because the route was wide open. But fortunately I was lucky. He didn't see that. Back to the in route, he actually checks it down to the running back underneath. Good reads. This guy knew exactly what he was doing. He understood his offense. He played it to a fiddle. So it's one of those situations where whoever gets the first stop or actually gets the ball last is going to be able to win this game, based on the way we were moving our offenses. So now I think I decided to go into the 34 odd as my offensive set. I go ahead and crunch down the line, send a lot of blitzers, put an outside flat defender to the outside, and I'm just going to send basically 7 people. This stops his run right here. It actually puts him in a 3rd and 3 situation, and he jumps back to his money play, which is the simplest play ever. I've got my guys manned up, but what happens is he actually falls forward for a first down. So I set it up correctly. I had defenders in the right situation, and basically didn't play it. He actually had a corner on the back end side. He actually played that correctly. So this guy knew what he was doing with this particular play. It was just a harassment play. If you didn't have a guy in the flat defender, didn't take that out, you were going to do that. Right here, I was actually trying to flip on and actually go ahead and set up a manual adjustment, but he just quick snapped it. So he'd get up to the line of scrimmage, he'd read real quick, he would snap the ball. So the way I was running my defense, I was running a lot of different defenses, and basically he was stopping it. So right here, I come right back and actually get a nice kickoff return against them with, I believe his name is Ordori Jackson. He's like 96 speed. That was one of the reasons why I put him in my kickoff thing. Now the guy actually comes right back to the the wildcat type formation, and I just blitz my corners and basically try to play the middle. Right here, I think I jumped into the 1-4-6 defense, and I was spreading out my defense. So, okay, so it's a 1-4-4-6, very popular defense. I've got a flat defender. I've manned up this one guy over here. I'm playing the box. The man comes down, misses and whiffs against basically Cooper, and actually takes off. So I'm telling you, I was raging right there. I actually did the right adjustment. I manned up the guy. The guy should have came down there and actually smacked him, but basically he got away with one. It was so frustrating to me. So this guy really got me out of my defensive scheme with that particular play. So back once again up here, I tried to take a shot up top, but if you could see, if you watch, you do the replay, the guy actually came down showing some type of other coverage, but he actually doubled up the guy. So this guy once again knew what he was doing. He was actually doubling up his defenders against the slot receivers, trying not to give a big play. Right here I do a slant underneath. I've got the whip route, which was doubled. As you can see right there, I'm able to go ahead and catch that and get some good yards. So right now I'm thinking, okay, clock mode. Let's just try to clock this, or try to take away as much clock as possible, not give this guy any kind of time, and just chew the clock down as much as possible. So back into this pistol formation, he was basically doubling up his guys, and what I did, I thought I had the squat flats off the left hand side. Right here I hit him with a concept which is basically a flat and an in. The in gets crazy separation, and I'm able to go ahead and pick up some pretty good yards, and I'm just chewing the clock as much as possible. Get the ball down to the 12-yard line right here, and I'm just chewing the clock down as much as possible. Nice little inside dive. You had a nice wide box, so I actually go ahead and just take that down to 2-minute warning. Inside zone with McCaffrey right here, and I'm trying to turn that off to the right side. I just can't get the leverage for that particular play. Back to the power O. and I get the ball down. So up by a touchdown with basically a minute and 12 seconds left. So I figured I'm just going to man up his guys as much as possible right here. Try to get a defender. I'm going to go ahead and show basically my guy down to the box. He goes with a different version of it. Actually, go ahead and with the corner. So he's running basically about just two different plays. He's running that play with the screen. Right here, he does a nice little inside zone. He gets a good move right there to pick up about 2 yards. He's working the clock, basically 58 seconds left. Makes quick snaps me, hits me with the bubble. This guy had like a little bounce step that he would do where he'd actually would go ahead and get past my defenders. Back to the bubble again. I was just out of position. And right there, he's able to go ahead and take off and actually get the ball into the end zone to tie things up. I was raging. I was literally raging. But then he actually comes out to this particular play. He bubbles me up once again. He actually hits me with a little crossing route and goes up by 2 points in that type of situation. So I was just raging off of that play. I was just so livid. So right here, hit the quick out. He basically had everybody manned up. He actually had another defender in the area. I take a timeout. Got one timeout left, but I've got a really good leg. So I jump into a formation I typically never use, but since this guy was using so much man coverage against me, I figured I can hit him. I've got a slant route on the backside. I've got the corner route. I'm able to go and hit the corner route, get it down to 17 seconds. I just need about 10 more yards, and I'm actually in field goal range. So I was thinking about doing the inside post. That actually was doubled up. Dropped it down underneath. I'm glad he actually go ahead and deflected it. Jump into another play with the running back route. This is a very, very glitchy running back route. But I'm able to go ahead and get the ball on the outside. And right here, I'm going to go and run the ball, center it up as much as possible because he's going to be icing a kicker, and I get the ball right in the center. And because I practiced my field goal kicking with my timing and I had it in confidence, I didn't have to move my stick at all as far as left or right. I'm able to go ahead and hit the field goal and win the game with seconds going out. So close game, guys. How do you stop bubble screens? How do you guys stop them? I would love to go ahead and get your feedback on that because it was a very annoying play. It was very hard to stop, and even though I tried to make adjustments correctly, this guy was quick hiking the play. He was waiting for an empty box. He'd run with his running back. So I want to get your take on it. What do you guys do to use to stop that type of a play, that bubble screen? Any kind of feedback would be great. I'd like to share it with my channel, and I'll probably put together a video on how to stop that. So once again, thanks for support. Until next time.